Have you ever wondered why we often hear concerns about the lack of values in today's youth? This question seems to echo in our minds as we navigate through the complexities of the modern age. We hear it in hushed whispers at family gatherings, in heated debates on social media, and even within the silent confines of our thoughts. But what does it truly mean? Consider this. We live in an era of unprecedented change and progress where the pace of life has quickened dramatically. The younger generation, our youth, are at the forefront of this whirlwind, trying to keep up, trying to make sense of it all. Yet we often hear complaints about their lack of respect, discipline, and traditional values. Picture a common scenario. A teenager glued to their smartphone during a family dinner, seemingly oblivious to the world around them. This image is often used as a symbol of the younger generation's alleged disconnection from reality and traditional values. But is it fair to judge them based on such instances? Let's take a moment to reflect on another perspective. Perhaps this teenager is connecting with friends, seeking help for a challenging school project, or even learning about world events. Maybe what we perceive as a lack of values could be a shift in their expression. We also hear stories of young people challenging the status quo, questioning age-old norms that may no longer serve society. They are not afraid to voice their opinions and stand up for what they believe in, even if it means going against the tide. Isn't that a value we should admire? However, the chorus of concern cannot be entirely dismissed. There are instances where the youth seem to fall short of the expectations set by older generations. Instances of disrespect, indiscipline, and disregard for traditions are not entirely unfounded. But the question remains, is this a reflection of their character, or is it indicative of larger societal issues? As we delve deeper into this issue, we must ask ourselves, is this a failure of the youth, or are there other factors at play? As we proceed with this discussion, let's keep an open mind, for the question of values is not as black and white as it may seem. In our quest for answers, let's consider the role of parents in society in shaping the values of the younger generation. The influences that surround young individuals are more powerful than we often acknowledge. And these influences, they come from us, their parents, their peers, and the society at large. Think of the parent who showers their child with brand-name clothes and the latest gadgets. Yes, they may be expressing love and providing for their child, but what message does this send? It tells the child that material possessions are a measure of love, of success, and of worth. It's not about the 10, 20, or 50 pieces of clothing they own, but the labels they carry. The value of the clothes is not in their utility, but in their brand name. We live in a society that places immense pressure on young people to succeed, to outperform their peers, to secure a prestigious job, to climb the social ladder. We tell them that their worth is measured by their achievements, their salary, their status. This pressure to succeed can overshadow the importance of traditional values such as kindness, respect, and integrity. And then there's the influence of peers and society. From a young age, children are exposed to societal standards and expectations through media, social networks, and their peer groups. They are taught to value certain things, to aspire to certain goals, and to conform to certain norms. This constant exposure can lead to a distorted perception of what's truly important in life. So perhaps we need to ask ourselves, are we, as parents and as a society, setting the right example? Are we teaching our children the right values, or are we unknowingly contributing to the problem? Are we nurturing their character, or are we fueling their materialism? Perhaps instead of blaming the youth, we need to examine the influences and pressures they face in their daily lives. Only then can we truly understand the root of the issue and work towards a solution that fosters a generation of well-rounded, value-driven individuals. As we reflect on this issue, it's clear that question of values in today's youth is not a simple one. This generation is growing up in a world vastly different from the one we knew. It's a world of instant gratification, where materialism often overshadows the importance of virtues. Our discussion has thrown light on the vital role parents and society play in shaping the values of our youth. Clearly, the task is not to just provide for their material needs, but to also create an environment that fosters the growth of strong moral values. But let's not forget, the youth are not mere recipients of values. They are active participants in their own development. They question, they challenge, and they form their own opinions. Before we rush to judge the youth, let's remember that it takes a village to raise a child. Perhaps it's time we all played our part.